Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bad Beast Barbecue. Yeah, I know I've been out of pocket for about 3 to 4 weeks, man, but I have been busy around the house preparing for this big family Memorial Day gathering that we're having in the next week. I've been doing all kind of DIY projects, resurfacing stairs, removing carpet, painting walls, reconditioning the man cave. So I've been really busy, too busy to do any type of videos and stuff. So, but now we're back at it, and what the best thing about it is my brother will be here early next week, and so we'll get a chance to do a combo video with my brother, and it's always fun when we get together. So all right, so what are we going to be doing today? All right, so we're going to be doing a simple slab of St. Louis style ribs, and we're going to be cooking on our Char-Griller 980 today. I have Kingsford blue Kingsford charcoal in the chute, and the wood we're going to be using today is we're going to be using the Crown Royal whiskey barrel chunks. We're going to throw a couple of those down in the bottom of the ash pan and see how that works out, okay? But what we're doing today is we're making a red plum glazed St. Louis style rib, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and bring you close, and we'll go ahead and get it prepped up. All right, guys, so here is our slab of St. Louis style ribs. The membrane has been removed and we've trimmed it a little bit, but we left some of the fat on. And so what we're going to be using as a binder today is some sesame oil, okay? Well, I don't want to use too much because sesame oil is pretty strong, but sesame oil has sort of an umami flavor to it, kind of a nuttiness to it, and I want to see how that works out as a base coat to these ribs as we use a red plum glaze sauce on these, which is going to be on the other end of the spectrum as far as sweetness goes, okay? So we got our sesame oil on here, and let's go ahead and put our first layer of seasoning. We're going to be using Killer Hogs today, Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub. Love this rub. It's one of my top 5. I love the color that it puts on the food, and the flavor is fantastic. Um, I did say I was going to do a video on my top 5 rubs, and I'm still going to do that. And I might do that when my brother gets here. That way he can have his opinion also, because he wants to start a YouTube channel also, and I'm trying to help him out. His channel, or his barbecue channel, will be called Blacksmith Barbecue. And so hopefully I can help him get that up and running in the near future. So he's going to be doing everything from Blackstone cooking to smoking all different types of meats, okay? All right, so now that we have the rub on here, I did kind of miss the sides, so make sure we get the sides. All right, so now that we got this, the final thing I want to do is I want to add a little extra black pepper to this. So we're going to hit this with some black pepper also. I'm going to pat this in since these granules are pretty large. I want to make sure some of them at least stick, okay? Now let's get our other side. All right, there we go. We are all done. Let's go ahead and get our wood chunks in the 980, and let's get these ribs on. All right, let's go ahead and get our ribs on the Char-Griller. We're gonna put them directly on the grates this time. Most of the time I use a rack, but I'm going straight to the grates this time. All right. All right, guys, so we got our ribs on the Char-Griller 980, and we got it set at 225 degrees. We're going to be cooking these for about 3 hours before we start glazing them. Total cook time will probably take anywhere between 4 to 5 hours, depending on the tenderness and the consistency that we want on our ribs, okay? So while these are on, we'll go ahead and make our glaze. Okay, guys, it's been 3 hours now, and here are what the ribs look like. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I turned the ribs around so you guys can see the bones here. And the bones haven't started pulling back as much as I would like. It is a little tender, and the texture, I like the texture on top of them, but we're gonna wait for this to pull back a little bit more before we start glazing. So we're gonna give it another hour. That'll give it 4 hours total cook time, and then we'll start the glaze. 1, 2. All right, guys, so here's our glaze. I mixed it in this mason jar here. It's 1 cup of red plum jam, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice. So you can use lime juice or you can use lemon juice, but you want to add a little bit of citrus in there to kind of cut through the sweetness and cut through the umami flavor a little bit. That's going to be given off by the sesame oil and by the soy sauce. Okay, so kind of cut through that a little bit, so not make it so heavy. So we're gonna go ahead and glaze this. Now our ribs have been on for an extra hour and a half, so they've been on a total of 4.5 hours. So we cranked the temperature up the last 30 minutes up to 250 degrees, and we're gonna go ahead and start glazing our ribs. And we'll probably take them off around the 5-hour mark, but we'll go ahead and glaze them the last half an hour of the cook. So let's head on over to the 980. All right, guys, so here are our ribs. They're looking really nice. Not as much pullback as I wanted, but I'm trying to turn them over without tearing them so we can go ahead and get some glaze going. Oh, beautiful color. I tell you that that Killer Hogs puts some nice color on anything you put it on. So, all right, let's go ahead and start getting our ribs glazed on the backside. And normally when I do some type of jam or jelly glaze on ribs, I usually break out the torch gun and caramelize it a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the glaze ride out once we hit it for another half an hour till we reach the 5-hour mark, and then we're going to remove it and see how it works out. So, and like I said, this is 1 cup of red plum jam, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice. If you're going to be cooking more than 1 slab of ribs, or if the piece of pork that you are going to be using this glaze on is going to be bigger than 1 slab of ribs, then I would suggest that you make double the glaze, okay? That red plum glaze is giving this a real pretty look. Really can't wait to taste this combination of flavors that we put together here today. Beautiful day out here today, 70-something degrees. Breeze is blowing. It's not excessively hot, not a cloud in the sky. Great day to be out here cooking. So, all right, there we go. We're finished glazing. We're gonna let this sit on here for another 30 minutes, and we're gonna pull them off. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and take our ribs off. They're looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get them on the cutting board. Oh, those are pretty. Really nice. All right, let's get them to the table and get them cut. We got our Dow Strong knife here. Look at that nice glaze. Hasn't quite set up yet, but I'll go ahead and cut into these bad boys anyway. Those have a really nice smoke ring to them. So, ooh, the glaze tastes really good. All right, let's go ahead and have a taste test. All right, we went ahead and cut our ribs. Now it's time to go ahead and have a taste. Nice and sticky. Oh man, the aroma is just fantastic. Great smoke ring on these. All right, let's go ahead and have a bite. These are really good. Wow. First of all, let me say that it's not overly sweet, but it's got a nice level of sweetness to it. And my mouth is just watering from the umami flavors of the sesame oil and the soy sauce. The black pepper adds a great dimension to the Killer Hogs rub, man. And you can taste that lime juice I put in it. It kind of cuts through all of the sweetness and everything and gives a nice brightness to the rib. Well, this is good. I'm definitely going to do these Memorial Day weekend when the family gets here. And ain't nothing like a sticky rib. Excuse my sticky mouth. Well, that's all we have time for today. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. I apologize for being out of pocket for so long, but thanks for continuing to support the channel. Hopefully we can get to put many more videos out there in the next couple of months to catch up on what we didn't get put out there. But this is a great cook. I love cooking on the Char-Griller 980. Great smoke flavor, great smoke ring. You get that smoke is just not comparable to anything else other than a normal charcoal or stick burner grill, okay? If you guys are interested in some Bad Beast merchandise, hey, check out www.badbeastbarbecue.com. And we are still doing laser engraving and custom cutting boards. So if you're interested in one, hit us up for one of those also. We can put your logo on the cutting board, okay? Hey, and hey, subscribe to the channel. It'll definitely help us out. So, hey, like we always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. If it's fire, then damn it, there just might be a barbecue there. Hey, as always, hey, we'll see you guys around the smoker.